This presentation is to show you how to manage your media in the digital video production process. We're going to start by building a project file structure. And I'm going to go do this on our desktop to make it easy. I'm going to go to New, Folder, and I'm going to go give this folder a name, and I'm going to name it after our course and the project, which is the final project. And then I'm going to create some folders within this folder. So I'm going to double click on that to bring up our window here, and I'm going to create a couple of new folders. The first one is going to be named Assets. And the assets are where I'm going to put all of the materials that I'm going to use within my project. So I'm going to go ahead and drill down into that Assets folder, and I'm going to create 3 new folders here. The first folder I'm going to name Video. The next folder I'm going to name Audio. And the next folder I'm going to name Pictures. And ultimately, in any project, I might have narration files, music files, or things like that. I'm going to put those in the Audio folder. If I have images, pictures, graphics, anything like that I want to use in my project, I'm going to put them in the Pictures folder. And of course, any video that I capture or any video that I shoot, I'm going to put in this Video folder. So this keeps a nice, even structure for us. It makes it easy for us to see. I'm just going to close this window down a little bit to make it not take up so much room on the screen so we can see what's going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this open. As a matter of fact, I'm going to open my Video folder. Now the next thing we want to do is capture our video. And while you were capturing your video, you should have been using your field logs and logging all of your shots. So you should have a document that looks something like this, that will have your scenes, your takes, and notes on which scenes and takes that you want. When you're capturing video, all of the video files are named in sequence. They start with 001, 002, so on and so forth. Now you want to make sure that we rename these files appropriately when we capture our video. And I'm going to look for the files on the camera so that we can move them to our computer. So I'm going to go ahead and open a new window here, and I'm going to go to the computer, and I'm going to look right here, this removable disk E. This is my camera plugged in right now, so all of my files are on this disk. And if we look at the file structure of what's on the camera, let me just go ahead and shrink this down a little bit so we can see them side by side. All of our video files are going to be in this AVC HD folder. Now we want to keep this AVC HD folder intact. And if we drill down into that folder, you'll see it takes a couple of levels to get there. But if we look in Stream right here, we'll see that our files are all here. Now when you shoot video on a digital camera, it automatically names the files for you. 001, 002, 003, which we want to change those names, because if we go on multiple shoots and we come back and we load our footage in, then we bring it into our editor, and say we go on 5 different shoots, we'll have 5 files named 0000. This could be quite confusing and time consuming to work with when you're working in the editor. So what we're first going to do is we're going to copy this whole folder over to our file structure. Now within this file structure, I want to make sure that I know what is where. So based on the document that I had scene 2. So I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm going to name this scene 2. So now if we look at this, we're in Dig 2030 Final Project, Assets, Video, and now we have a Scene 2 folder. And now I'm going to open that Scene 2 folder, Now I'm going to take this AVC HD folder and I'm going to drag it over into this window, and these scenes should copy over. It may take a couple minutes for that file to copy over. So there we go. Now that we have this copied over here, we can dig down into this folder and double check our files. We're going to go to the stream, and there are our files, and we can see that it's identical to what we have from our camera. So then we can go ahead, we can disconnect our camera now. We don't have to worry about that anymore. I'll go ahead and disconnect the camera. And now we have our files that we can work with on our computer. So now, based on the form that we have, I'm going to go ahead and rename these files. So I look at my form, I know the first shot was scene 2 take 1. So I'm going to go ahead and rename this file scene 2 take 1. And now I'll go through and rename the rest of them. 2 take 2. And then I would go through and keep renaming each of these according to my shot sheet. I'll go ahead and close this window. And then the last thing we're going to want to do is take our folder and drop it onto our backup drive so that we have a backup that we can take with us, and you're good to go.